Unravel is a game being published by EA. And because of this, I know a lot of people who will not so much as acknowledge that Unravel may just be the best game EA has published in a long time. Unravel is actually a game developed by Coldwood Interactive, and it's something I've been itching to play ever since it was announced at E3. When it was unveiled during E3 alongside the game's creative director acting like a genuine human, it immediately stood out to me. So now that I've played the game to near 100% completion, how is Unravel? Well, in Unravel, you take control of a red flimsy yarn creature named Yarny, who is seemingly created by this strange old woman. See, the intro cutscene is literally just this random old woman reminiscing on her past, and after that, there's virtually no formal story. Unravel is not a game filled to the brim with numerous dialogue boxes or long pre-rendered cutscenes, but rather it tells its story through pictures and magic models that form in the various levels. According to the game's creative director, Yarny's yarn is supposed to represent love, and the character unravels said love as they travel away from what they love. What I think the developer is trying to accomplish here is having the player sort of interpret their own story. It's clear in every level there seems to be some event going on involving people in love, whether that be friendly or, you know, sexual love. Like in the level Off the Rails, I interpreted the images I saw as a couple having a romantic trek through the woods. And in The Sea, I interpreted the story as a family having a vacation near some lake together. If there's one thing I appreciate most about the story's presentation, it's that Unravel made me think about the various photos and magic images I saw. While this is not a story with an overarching narrative, it's still compelling. Each level is its own anecdote for some event in someone's life. That's sort of something you should expect going into Unravel. This game is very much an artsy game that attempts to be vague for the sake of being vague and purposely beautiful for the sake of being beautiful. It seems to me like the director wanted to just make a relaxing, gorgeous game that's intended to make you feel good about yourself. And Unravel does that quite well. I'm not saying its whole artsy presentation is the best thing in years, but it's fairly unique. The concept of constructing the entire story in your head through a photo album is something I've personally not seen done in a video game before. And while Unravel mostly sets out to make you feel good about yourself, it also has moments that really tug on your heartstrings, or heart yarns, which only adds to its brilliance. By far the best element in Unravel is its overall presentation. I'm not saying that because I dislike the gameplay or anything. The visuals and music here are stellar. From a graphical standpoint, the game looks amazing. Environments are diverse and colorful with the added bonus of being extremely varied. All the levels are a joy to play through purely because of all the backgrounds you get to look at. It's like taking a tour of someone's dream paradise, and it's beautiful. The realistic art style is perfect for a game all about exploring and appreciating nature. From the ocean setting with vicious crabs, to the caverns with the adorable gerbil, to the mosquito-ridden swamp, you go to so many different locations that all feel distinct. The texture work is phenomenal and never does the game drop below 60 frames per second. Unravel is a technical marvel, and its fantastic stylized aesthetic makes it one of my favorite looking games that I've played in a long time. As for the soundtrack, it's also really great. Most of the music consists of ambient, well-composed background tunes. They feature a lot of strings and are usually upbeat, cheery, and catchy. While none of the songs, aside from the title screen, are too memorable, that doesn't mean they aren't a joy to listen to. Since I don't have access to the soundtrack at the moment, I've just been listening to my gameplay footage over and over to hear some of the tracks. They're best for really doing anything because they're so relaxing. The same can loosely be said about the gameplay. Taking control of Yarny, you traverse through numerous different levels with the main goal of reaching the end. Unlike Mario or Metroid, you don't have the ability to attack or kill enemies. Rather, when you encounter a crab or a gerbil, you have to devise a way around them. You could always try to land a cage on a crab to render him harmless, or jump on mushrooms and make the gerbil scutter away from all the pores. This sort of clever design is where Unravel is at its strongest. Most of the levels are laid out with a bunch of checkpoints and challenges that make the player solve some puzzle before moving on to the next checkpoint. For example, the sea at one point presents the player with a bunch of crabs they need to avoid to reach the other side. So, using smart notch and platform placement, the game encourages the player to use Yarny's whip to swing across the crabs to lure them away from one side of the area. Then, in Mountain Trek, the smart level design also encourages the player to use Yarny's ability to tie yarn together to create a slingshot to progress vertically. Sure, the level design is linear, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. The puzzles you're faced with are more than enough to vary up the platforming, and the new areas you encounter keep things fresh. I don't want to spoil all the levels for you, but every single one feels new and interesting enough with its level design that it's hard to get bored when playing Unravel. Even for repeat playthroughs, there are these buttons to collect that encourage thorough exploration of every single stage. Simply put, Unravel is a joy to play and a great game overall. While the physics-based platforming is not as strong as it could have been, using Yarny's abilities to explore the landscapes is very enjoyable. Stages are beautifully designed and graphically interesting, and every layout of every level has its own charm to it. I know some people may get bored since there's little action in Unravel, but I had a tremendous amount of fun. Plus, it's not too long and only $20 on the PS4, PC, or Xbox One. If you're looking for a relatively simple platformer that has a glorious presentation, then Unravel is for you. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that you should not wait for a price drop or sale. But if you disagree or agree with me, let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching and take care. Have a wonderful day and goodbye. Oh, and I'm still a little sick, so, cut me some slack, guys. Come on, man. Come on.